to have a faith, and God is so good. And I want to say to my husband, who is deployed, who I know may or may not be watching this right now, Michael, I love you. And what keeps me going is I know we sleep under the same stars. So I want to say to Rena and Josh and Nayland, I am so proud of you. The best job I will always have is being your mom. I want to thank my parents who are at home. Every day they reminded us how blessed we were to live in America. I want to thank my sweet brother who came out here and was caucusing for me. A good Desert Storm veteran, and I want to thank my other siblings there. I want to thank Michael's parents, Bill and Carol Haley, who've been fantastic along the way as well. You can't do this without the strength of your family. I want to congratulate President Trump on his win tonight. We have had an amazing 11 months here in the Hawkeye State. I came to Iowa early and often, and I kept coming back, even though the cold weather is brutal. But the kindness of Iowans will never be lost on me. You're faithful, patriotic, and hardworking Americans, and I will forever be grateful for the time that we had. At one point in this campaign, there were 14 of us running. I was at 2% in the polls. But tonight, Iowa did what Iowa always does so well. The pundits will analyze the results from every angle. We get that. But when you look at how we're doing in New Hampshire, in South Carolina, and beyond, I can safely say, tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race. Tonight, I will be back in the great state of New Hampshire. And the question before Americans is now very clear. Do you want more of the same? Or do you want a new generation of conservative leadership? Spoken a lot of hard truths to America, and here's another one. I voted for Donald Trump twice. I was proud to serve in his administration. But when I say more of the same, you know what I'm talking about. It's both Donald Trump and Joe Biden. They have more in common than you think. 70% of Americans don't want another Trump-Biden rematch. A majority disapprove of both of them. Trump and Biden are both about 80 years old. Trump and Biden both put our country trillions of dollars deeper in debt, and our kids will never forgive them for it. Trump and Biden both lack a vision for our country's future because both are consumed by the past, by investigations, by vendettas, by grievances. America deserves better. A new direction under new conservative leadership. We deserve a president who will focus on the needs of our people, not on themselves. A president who will rebuild our economy, close our border, and stand up to our enemies. Most importantly, we deserve a president who will stop our self-loathing, end division and fear, and make America strong and proud. Our campaign is the last best hope of stopping the Trump-Biden nightmare. But it's more than that. Republicans have lost the popular vote in 7 of the last 8 presidential elections. That's nothing to be proud of. We should want to earn the support of a majority of Americans. All the evidence says that if it's a Trump-Biden rematch, it's going to be another toss-up election. It could go either way. We could have more disputes over election interference, and Joe Biden could win again. With Kamala Harris waiting in the wings. Lord help us if that happens. And then look at what happens when I go head-to-head against Biden. It's not even close. That means no recounts, no lawsuits, and no doubts. It means no more Chuck Schumer leading the Senate. No more endless votes for House Speaker because we'll have a huge House majority.
And there you have Nikki Haley continuing to talk to her supporters there on the ground in Iowa. She says that she's already on her way to New Hampshire tonight. Heidi, we heard her start off talking about how God is good, thanking her family, her husband, who's, of course, overseas, deployed right now. And then she congratulated Donald Trump. No mention of Ron DeSantis. She said that Iowa has made this a 2-person race, which is interesting considering she came in 3rd place. Your takeaway from her speech?
Pretty brazen. I think that she has decided if she's going to win this, she's going to have to take the gloves off a little bit, Lindsay. She called Donald Trump a loser tonight, and that is going to have repercussions, I think, all through this primary season. But, you know, if you're Ron DeSantis and you're looking at the vote count, the delegate count in Florida, and you're saying, okay, Nikki, you and I split whatever we're going to get out of Iowa. You might do okay in New Hampshire, but when we get to Florida and the big states, I'm going to be way more competitive than you are. So he's not going to get out of this anytime soon. And she's spinning pretty hard, and I think maybe overreached a little bit if she's intending to get any of the MAGA votes back on her column.
John Katko, I want to bring you back in here. We heard her make that infamous pitch about when she goes head-to-head against Joe Biden, what the polls suggest. Your reaction to what she's saying so far?
I mean, that's the argument she has to make, and that's she has to appeal to the logical wing of the Republican Party, to the extent that there still is one, and tell them, look, do you want to chance it with Biden and lose in a close election with Trump, or lose if the polls indicate with DeSantis, or do you want to show what the polls are consistently showing, that I resoundingly beat Biden? If I beat Biden, I'm going to beat him by a wide enough margin. I'm going to take a bunch of things with me, like state houses and possibly the Senate and the House. And that's an argument she has to make. And it doesn't work in a state like Iowa. It will work in a place like New Hampshire, and it may work in the other states. So job one is to be competitive. She is. Job two is to get to New Hampshire and do really well. And then after that, we'll see what happens. I think that's the argument she has to make. But make no mistake, and Heidi's right. She took her gloves off a little bit tonight. She's got to do that more. And you can't be afraid to go after the lion being Trump here. And you got to believe you can beat him. And you got to show that you can beat him. You got to give confidence that you can beat him. And you can't beat around the bush anymore. Game on now, and I think it's time to go.
Game on. Heidi, what are you looking for now as we move on to New Hampshire and then to her home state of South Carolina?
Well, I mean, if by some big chance she beat Trump in New Hampshire, this opens this race up. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Trump's going to win New Hampshire. He's going to continue to win. But I agree with the congressman. Look, here is essentially an incumbent president who is running for his party's nomination, and he's barely getting 50%. And so Trump's weaker than I think the pundits are acknowledging. Yes, he had a big victory, but listen, only 50% of the people came out to vote, and of those people, a third of them said he's not qualified to be president if he's convicted. And so I don't think you should. I don't think he should carry this victory too far. I think he's got a tough fight. But the one thing about his campaign, much better organized than it was 4 years ago and 8 years ago. These are professionals. They know what they're doing. They know how to vote count. They know they're in a fight. And so you don't take his team for granted. I've been impressed. I'm in Iowa, visited with a lot of the people who are on the ground for him. He's running a real campaign. Donald Trump is.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.